positioning that was already brought up on the space.
Yeah, Nongshim are going to go with first pick, which is not a surprise to me. This does mean BNK might be able to do something a little tricky again on red side, or on blue side, the second pick.
True.
My brain's still adjusting to how to say that with R5 and final counter pick. I think that Nongshim really misjudged how their composition was going to work. I was coming into LCK Cup feeling like Malphite was going to be one of the strongest picks on the patch. Even season opening event, I was like, I can't believe they left it up. They didn't pick it right. And then it just isn't really working as intended. I think it requires, you basically only have one button, right, in team fights. A lot of other jungle picks have a lot more utility. Maintaining consistent CC is what Nautilus was able to do in that last game. So we'll have to wait and see what is planned here for Nongshim. I think Nongshim do have the ability to win this series. I predicted them, in fact, but the coordination just was not there in that last game, and hopefully we'll see it in game 2. For BNK, this roster is unchanged, so you would expect that their coordination will be better, and that's what we've seen thus far.
Yep. And seems like a change in the coaching staff has not actually hurt them too much. We were singing the praises of Ryu in our first game, and of course he was their coach all of 2025, has now moved over to Gen G, and Edo has now moved in. So, Jace going to continue to be permanently banned throughout the LCK Cup, as well as the Vi, and nothing really changing as far as these bans are concerned. These last couple might be interesting. We'll just have to see what Nongshim are going to be taken away, because there is now the Malphite left, like gone, fearlessly banned, right? So it does leave a few gaps in this draft. No Silas is needing to be banned or anything like that.
Yeah, 100%. See what this final ban is going to be. The Aphelios and the Yunara are gone. See if it ends up being like a Nico ban, which could be quite strong here, as Nongshim do have first pick.
Yeah, one more ban here for BNK before we get into these picks. Vikla looking like he's concentrating very, very hard on what he wants to do, and it's going to be Jarvan.
Okay, well, silver stock's going up.
Indeed.
As we do see a potential first pick Orianna. Like, Orianna's up. You have the
Scouts Orianna.
You have the potential to first pick Nico, but now because you've chosen the Orianna, that could go over to the side of BNK as a response.
Oh, Nico Corki is actually terrifying.
Yeah, that's kind of
Diablo Kellen.
Insane. I think that may be, in fact, where we go directly here.
Well, it is definitely going to be Nico. I think that is a no-brainer. Will be picked up here. The Orianna, I'm not actually, I feel like that is a decent decision to make, especially with the Zia band, but
going
it's going to be Nico Pantheon.
For the face-up Pantheon, which is obviously not a flex in this case with the Nico already locked in, instead of going for the safe Corki, or even the Sivir, which could have been an option as well. Sivir has been doing incredibly well in solo queue, and it's just really a big benefactor of all the, or benefitter of all the changes to crit and stuff like that. Varus will be the option here.
Yep, the Taeun special does very much like this champion, at least as I remember back in 2023, or when he was still here in the LCK.
Picking Varus can be quite strong into Nico. Picking the Alistar, a little bit less so.
Although good into Pop Blossom.
That is true. As a great answer in terms of team fight and setup there. The variation of Varus that we know when we're watching Taeun is on hit. We'll see what ends up happening here in this game, as Ezreal is going to be the opt-in here for Diablo with the Nico lane.
And this is a champion that Diablo has gone completely ballistic on in the past as well. I believe it was Casper Cup. You and I were just kind of in awe of what Diablo was able to do on this champion. And of course, he was doing that all last year as well. The guy is just pretty good at the video game. So both of them going to be rocking those skill shots to see who can actually stick around in the laning phase. With Lehens on the Alistar, of course, it is one of his signature picks, but unfortunately will not be adding that much to the laning phase against a Nico Ezreal, which is going to be very scary.
They picked the Pantheon early, and they can kind of try to choke out the jungle pool here for Sponge. They banned the Jarvan, the Jace, the Nocturne, and when you look at what locks down Ezreal, like, I mean, apparently jungle Nautilus could be one of your best bets, but that's Fearless ban. I'm curious what they're going to do with this final ban here at BNK.
I mean, Xin Zhao is, one of those champs that is still up and available and relatively strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those champs. I mean, Wukong, I suppose.
Yeah.
Could be another one they're looking at. It's kind of like those are the two that are left. As Ambessa, jungle, not allowed as well with the Ambessa ban that happened earlier on in the first phase.
feel like Wukong doesn't feel that great, though. I feel like the early presence that you'll have as this Pantheon is going to greatly outvalue that of an early Wukong.
Not to mention,
really doesn't get online that fast.
Yeah, not to mention the Ezreal is going to be able to buy space better than a lot of other AD carries into the Wukong in team fights.
All right, Gnar going to be taken away. A very interesting ban, although Clear is one of our known Gnar enthusiasts. Kind of like every other top lane here in the LCK, to be honest, but still, it has been one of his favorites in the past.
It kind of makes me feel like maybe King is angling for a Jax pick here.
Could be.
Because that's one of the picks that Gnar has, you know, it depends on who you ask. Like, Keen's like, I win both sides, but it has been a great response to Jax in the past, even though Gragas does exist. So it's either that or maybe a Cassante. Those are the big things you're afraid of.
Ooh, Sylas.
Like, there's no Gnar.
Locked in.
Let's lock the Sylas. This is a Vikla favorite.
It is, and it's interesting because theoretically the Pantheon is somewhat flexible. The Nico could be a mid laner again, like all sorts of weird stuff. The Sylas could be jungling, like you don't really know, but it's pretty clear cut that this is going to be into the Orianna thus far. And with Alistar already picked up, it does make sense that you're going to be picking the Sylas just because the Unbreakable Will is so powerful.
Like the King and Renekton comes through and they will be picking up that Wukong, so they have a lot of threats here. I'm just a little bit concerned about how much engage and how much frontline, plus the safety of the Ezreal B&K already have. And they will, of course, still have counterpick for the top lane here. And the Sylas can steal critical ultimates. Like, the Wukong ultimate makes it even better, arguably. Yeah. I mean, like, the Alistar one is the one you want most of the time. We'll see that same cannon response we saw from Rich earlier today. The Gunblade cannon can be quite powerful and buy a lot of space. I mean, this is basically... Well, you couldn't ask for more engage, but also functionally it peels incredibly well for an AD carry that's already so difficult to lock down, and it is Diablo on the Ezreal. Even though the Orianna went over and we kind of were like, wow, that's crazy. That's a lot of power budgeted into Scout on a champ he's quite well known for. I think B&K definitely went out on the draft in my mind.
Yeah, I actually feel like it looks pretty good. And Clear has been a bit of a Kennen enthusiast in the past. Hasn't exactly got the most games on it, but has certainly played it, especially in Challenger on DRX back in the day. So looking forward to seeing how he's going to go, as we did see Rich have a pretty good time into Keen in the Kennen versus Renekton matchup. And so we'll just have to see. I'm interested. I do feel like B&K are once again looking like they have a lot of control and power in this draft. And I like the way... it must not necessarily be about the coaching stuff. It must be the players that just like playing with lots of setup CC and control. You know, and a lot of these skirmishes are often built around that, and it's showing once again. You've got Pop Blossom, Slicing Maelstrom, you've got a Sylas that can pick up so many different things. This could be another blowout for B&K. That being said, would be really good if we made it to 3 games. So Nongshim, let's see what you can do as we are here, loaded onto the Rift here for game number 2. And minions already making their way down the lanes as Diablo already in position. And yeah, there's 2 of them. This is going to be a very rough time for Nongshim in the early laning phase.
Yeah, they opted into this. It is Comet Varus, so lethality. The option, Ignite Cannon, rather than the teleport variant. The shield is actually quite high value for Cannon. He doesn't build a lot of health, obviously, so he's not going to have a massive shield, but having the shield really helps you set up your ultimate. But it does mean that you have potentially kill pressure in this lane. A lot of power, Ignite value into Renekton when you're looking for an all-in is insanely high, so really interesting tech to come out here from Clear. It's pretty easy to proc the Electrocute.
Yep. I do like having a little bit of that extra power, as Chains are going to connect here onto Scout, as Vikla does find level 2, but still, the Orianna should have a pretty good time. Orianna into melee matchups actually gets to make use of her passive quite well, and so isn't going to be too worried about this. The early landing phase should be a little bit tough here for Vikla.
I mean, we have right now 2 crushing lanes, right? You have the top lane winning for B&K, you have bottom lane with the Nico. No contest, right? And then in the mid lane, the fact that Vikla was even able to get those chains to connect, and he had it perfectly timed with his level 2, found the angle there, hits on the Scout, just gives you this feeling of like B&K are locked in right now. You know, they have so many edges in this game to start things out, plus the fact they're already one up in this series.
I do think that as the game goes on, this Nongshim draft is looking really good. Clear needs to actually last hit minions as well. That would be really cool. As Kingen doing his very best to pick up as many of these as he can underneath the turret, and is doing a great job at that. But still, it is going to be Clear with a slight advantage as far as this farm is concerned, as Kingen does have to deal with both this Pikachu as well as the turret, trying to take away all of his minion kills.
Yeah, the electrocute is very annoying to deal with here.
Oh, nicely played there by Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo is so clean. Team takes a lot of damage. You know, we, in the past, would see the lethality Varus just crush Ezreal in lane, but we're not living in that world anymore, especially with an Alistar by his side.
Yeah.
Nico existing. It is a thing of the past to think that the Varus can go toe-to-toe, even though he has that range, he has that poke, he has that comet. He is really just trying to get anything he can, but you can see here, the poke is real.
Yeah, and it's the fact that there is an Eco alongside and the cow instead, so it's just going to be a rough time regardless.
But that was a risky ward for Vikla there. Yeah, the Raptor is coming up and like...
It is going to be a 2v2.
With Kingslayer, I mean, this is kind of playable.
We'll have to just see, as the Dissonance does do a bit of damage to Vikla. Scout very out of mana.
Yeah, that's...
Raptor is rotating over.
And Raptor is prepped.
Oh, the chains connect! Sponge dives in, and Vikla is getting the heck out of there, but Scout has basically nothing to work with. It will be the kill followed up, but First Blood goes over to Nongshim, and they'll have a bit of extra money for that.
Yeah, 2 flashes expended on both sides. All 4 flashes in the exchange going over to nothingness, going over to cooldown. And ultimately ends up being a trade. And junglers pick up the kills. Mid laner's trying to make the play. I really thought that I was favoring the situation there for B&K. If those chains connect, they do. And he has Kingslayer, but you know, Nongshim also are very confident. And in fact, they were able to trade it back and get the first blood.
Yeah, it was nicely done.
Very close exchange there.
The fact that Scout was trying to fight with 0 mana was a real difficulty, as now Clear does get closed in on by Kingen, but able to answer a lot of damage back with that W. And has put all of his points into that one, as we can see. See how Kingen is going to be able to navigate this. And right now it is just taking abuse here on this top side and trying to take the farm where he can.
Yeah, remember Clear has Ignite.
Taken out.
So, like, while this wave pushes away from Kingen, he's like, you know, I just don't want to get involved with that.
Yeah.
And level 6 is going to be there faster for Clear. So Kingen has to back here and does not have teleport anymore. It's a pretty big win for Clear.
Yeah, and quest advantage in the top lane as well is such a huge deal. If you can keep your opponent out of lane because you have that level advantage, it sort of snowballs on itself if you can keep it in that isolated 1v1. So, can be a tough time. See whether Clear can actually carry that one forward or whether it's going to be Sponge creating that advantage. You can see Kingen does make his way back. It's a cannon wave, and so he is able to get back here.
Yeah, he is significantly down in CS, as you'd expect. As here comes the ult.
Yeah, Orianna comes, so the shockwave comes in from the Silas, and now Scout's in so much trouble. Vikla looking for it. No flash, no chance. Solo bolo for Vikla in the mid lane.
Yeah, Vikla is just feeling himself in this matchup. Like, he has had played even level 1 with insane confidence. Gets to level 2, right? Gets that stun, and he has just been non-stop. You know, basically hands checking Scout, and he's winning out. Gets level 6 faster there as the faster shockwave, and he just does not miss today.
Yeah, that was not how I was expecting this early game to go, as this was the lane where I thought Nongshim were going to be able to play through, right? The mid lane was going to be it, and now it is kind of a disaster. As a Silas that can run away with a lead is just going to be so difficult to deal with. Let's have a look at this one more time.
Goes in, gets level 6.
Yeah, and Scout didn't have it yet.
And Scout, I think, just did not realize he would have level 6 on that engage. Shockwaves the minions and dies.
Yeah, I think probably just knew that he was dead. No flash, no chance. And now Vikla, level advantage, and feeling absolutely fantastic here in this mid lane.
I mean, this can really snowball as well, this type of lane, if the mage falls behind in any matchup, or even though you have the range advantage. Like, Silas just starts trading with you, he's got health.
Oh, the hands, just dead! Okay! Well, now Tamer's in a whole lot of trouble as well. Does still have flash up and available, but man, where did that cow go?
To the death chamber.
Ah, right. Sorry. Thanks, Wolf.
He'll be back in about 2 seconds.
So glad that this is a duo cast.
Yeah, no, he's got teleport as well, so he can get right back in there. He's going to maybe try to make something happen.
We'll see. Diablo is looking a little worse for wear, but does manage to get that Mystic shot out. Clear. Kite and King in around. Does manage to at least snag him with that Q.
It just feels like there's no in for Nongshim. Like you mentioned, the mid lane felt like the most stable start, but you're like, oh man, the early game isn't going to be great for Wukong either in the Pantheon. Doesn't have his ultimate. At least they were able to trade that kill back in the mid lane, but otherwise, you're just kind of losing everywhere. How do you get back into this game without big power from your jungle? And this is just Lehens getting caught and gets rooted. And that's that.
Oh.
Diablo does not even hesitate. He's like looking for more skill shots. Like, oh yeah, I guess he's just dead already.
And the flash had to be employed as well. And it just adds insult to injury, doesn't it really? So it's almost a 2,000 gold lead here for B&K at the 8-minute mark. And I just don't feel like it gets better just yet from here, right? Obviously, Sponge does now have the Cyclone up and available. Later game team fights are going to look strong, but we haven't even had Vikler out of lane stealing away Unbreakable Wills, things like this. Like the power of this B&K composition hasn't been shown yet. And Kingen is throwing out an ultimate here in lane just to try and keep himself alive and get a shove going.
I mean, the quest advantage for the lanes here is going to start to be felt, you know, pretty soon. Once those start completing, Silas is going to have his first because he's been doing so much damage to Scout.
Yeah.
Obviously, this bottom lane has been pushed in super hard, and then top lane needs no explanation. Kingen doesn't have money.
Oh, there's a slicing maelstrom here as Kingen doesn't have that ulti available. Ult comes through here from Raptor as well, looking for the flash stun, and he will be able to find it. Clear will have the follow-up as well, and finds the Qs from both of them, and Raptor's able to lock down that kill. There is the True Shot Barrage onto Lehens, taking a fair bit of damage himself. Does have the ulti, as Nongshim are just trying to pick up the pieces of this game.
Yeah, there's just nothing in the tank right now, and the ultimate is coming. It comes through there from Raptor, and Kingen sees it, instantly flashes, but it's just not enough. You know, he's able to flash follow there for the stun setup. They have just enough damage. He gets the empowered Q to take him down. And if you look at the gold leads here, they're in every roll over a kill.
Oh no.
That was an E. That was not even a flash.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit dire here for Nongshim.
He has barrier, by the way. I don't even know if he can do anything with that if he hits that.
No, I really don't think anything happens. Taeyeon just says, please go away. That's sort of what that ulti was saying. As Diablo able to snipe that cannon as well, which is very satisfying. Raptor now Sundered Sky in hand, does have that item advantage. Trinity Force is on the way here for Sponge. As Lehens going to be able to avoid the route there. But now, possible opportunity as Kingen does have backup this time around. But vision there for Clear.
Yeah,
they just
Clear
can't find an inroad.
Yeah, Clear is just like, well, I expected this. I played around it. He has control vision on the tri-brush as well. And so there's just no in, like you say. And this is just going to be Dragon. It's a slightly late Dragon, to be sure, at 10 minutes here, but
oh no, he's
goes over.
Wave. Oh dear. Well, it's going to be difficult for Kingen. We've got 3 seconds on the Slicing Maelstrom as well. Clear is once again going to be dangerous.
This blind Renekton might be, when Kennen is up, might be something to avoid in the future.
Man, and it feels so good as well, building Gunblade on Kennen specifically, because like you want to have a Vamp Scepter in lane. Like it just feels so good having that item.
Like we saw Zeus, you know, use Vamp Scepter in lane when he's going to AD Kennen, but this is something else entirely, obviously, and Clear is just like, I'm going to proc Electrocute every chance I get, and you know, Electrocute's been buffed quite a few times, I like to say, and when you have this item advantage, and once you have Gunblade, you can slow and just like guarantee your stuns. Your ultimate's always going to be big. You can peel with it. You can get on top of the enemy AD carry. Peel even against the... I mean, there's just so many things.
Oh, this time Chains of Corruption is going to land, and there is the Wombo combo. Taeyeon on the board.
Uh-oh, Clear.
Able to take one down. Okay, Clear is also in trouble. Does find the Slicing Maelstrom for a bit of a stun, and Kingen is able to wipe him out. Raptor's going to show up, but he's by himself. As now Vikler looking for it once again, but this time Scout able to stand his ground, make something happen. Kingen just wants to have some spare time with this lane, and he will be able to get it. Teleport is there for Clear with his top lane quest. And so we'll be able to make it back to this lane if he would like to, but there is a good answer for Nongshim, and they really start closing that gold gap that was really starting to balloon.
Yeah. That was a really cool move there from Vikla. I thought perhaps he was going to try to bait Scout in to a bad exchange. So going back to this one, unfortunately, as Diablo has Arcane Shift with his Nico, does not flash the chains, and he gets taken out. And they are going to try to make something happen in the jungle here, but I don't think it's going to amount to anything in live. And now, the reason why Clear steps up like this, despite knowing there's a really high chance that Sponge is still here, is because he has his jungle nearby with ult. The timing, though, of the engage of Sponge, how quick snap, flash, Cyclone, he gets it out. This means there's... Okay, he gets this one, too. The timing is too fast for Raptor's ultimate to come in and impact the play in time.
Yeah, it was well played by Nongshim. Be able to have sort of a little bit of an advantage. And when you're against the global of the Pantheon, it is difficult to have that moment. So well played by them in order to do so. But Vikla, you can see, has his dash cannon now completed. And the Sylas, when he's unlocked, is just going to be so difficult for Nongshim to deal with. So BNK still haven't seen quite the team fights that we're kind of looking for here, as he does avoid so much of the damage out of Scout just there.
Man, Vikla is actually out of
He's dancing this game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's like he's moving like Messi, man.
He's
dribbling somehow.
He's in Scout's head completely. He lives there.
Actually out of control. I mean, obviously that he just avoids everything and like nothing happens, but it was really cool to watch.
It was very cool to watch. And that may actually, you know, affect the mental game for Nongshim, right? So it might be relevant, as Taeyeon going to be moving in, looking for Kellen, wanting to try and find that option as he does connect the Q.
Doesn't use his ult, just wants to push Kellen out without it, so he can still use that tool later, and he is successful. Kellen still has his flash.
Yeah, Arcane Shift, just to avoid getting pulverized there by Lehens. Does do a fair bit of damage here, does Diablo, now that that Trinity Force is complete.
The game state here, you know, obviously after those big plays, like they were able to kill Clear, they were able to get the kill onto Kellen. Feels a little bit better here for Nongshim, but the problem is they haven't really been able to get back control of, you know, the top or mid lane. Bottom lane looking a little bit better with some resources given. Let's see if Sponge can make anything happen here. I mean, this ward is going to say, I think absolutely not, but
yeah,
I think what, I was just going to say briefly, like I think what Nongshim need to get back in this game fully is just a one-team fight on an objective with a really nice Cyclone, Shockwave combo. Then they can get back into the driver's seat. But right now, around the map, it's just kind of like duck and cover.
Yeah. Well, there is the Cyclone onto Kellen. He will find a Pop Blossom onto 3 and flash his way out. As now Raptor looking for that opportunity. There is a decent Shockwave to come on through, but not quite getting the kills, as now Scout over the wall to try and keep himself alive. The Unbreakable Will just in front of BNK. True Shot Barrage sails over to provide morale for the team, but is otherwise not doing too much more, and everyone walks away.
Mess up Clear's lane state.
Chains of Corruption does come on down as Diablo takes a lot of damage from the combo out of Taeyeon.
Starting to hit pretty hard. Raptor is going to come up here and start up this Herald, as all those health bars were expended in that last fight. The flash is down for Scout, his ult is down. Raptor is just going to start this one up, knows that he has a Kennen coming up here, who also has teleport now, by the way, with his Royal Quest, of course. Really hit on that, but that is why you can take Ignite now, and even though he didn't get a kill with Ignite, like that extra pressure, the fact that that existed is a big part of why that CS advantage is there. Yeah. Raptor does take the Herald completely with no challenge, and that may just get dropped into the mid lane to try to secure prio for this dragon fight. And Scout's ult's coming back up, Sponge's ult's coming back up, Sponge has flash. Like, this feels like the best chance Nongshim have to get back into this game if they can group for this fight. But if they mess it up, you know, it feels like just you're never ever going to get back in.
It really could be a catastrophe, especially with the fact that, you know, if Clear gets a good ulti, if Vikla is able to run amok utilizing that Unbreakable Will that we haven't quite seen just yet in this game, it's a difficulty. Let's see whether he presses the button onto Lehens right now. Looks like he's not opting in for it just yet.
We're having this big, potentially game-deciding fight before a lot of champs have their 2 items, right? Orianna is sitting on a Rod of Ages on 3 stacks. You know, it doesn't feel like this is the big oomph moment. It's going to be about the CC more than anything else.
Well, Lehens gets that flash headbutt pulve onto Kellen, but he's able to walk his way out of there. The Unbreakable Will is now going to be put together. Pop Blossom connects onto 3, but Kingen makes his way back into the back line and slicing Maelstrom from Clear, but he's under the turret. They do take 2 of them down, though, as Diablo is free hitting in this back line. Taeyeon's still alive, though. There is the stun from Raptor, but Scout has the turret and has his orb to help him out. 2 on the floor on both sides, but it looks like B&K have control of the map.
Yeah, B&K have the jungle, and their jungler has a Herald. Now this is going to be the Dragon to come over, but more will go over as Diablo. You got to be careful.
Oh dear, there's the Grand Star.
Maybe not.
Scout's just really dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forget Dragon. I might kill the champion first, then get the Dragon. As they are going to come over here and look for a punish, but I think this turret is just gone.
Yeah, Rift Herald's still there. Diablo looking a little worse for wear, though. Lehen's now without the ulti, but Diablo is very close to dead. Taeyeon just pushing him out. As now Kingen getting into that front line. Raptor wants to find it. Taeyeon, no! Oh, the overstep, and Kingen cannot help him there.
I mean, B&K were like, you know, we could just drop Herald and let it go. Let it crash, take a Dragon. But we could also kill Scout and then bait Nongshim into another bad fight and get even more. And also get the Dragon. As I mean, this starts off looking like, okay, maybe they can find something here. Like Kellen ends up getting a massive pot because they just pile on top of him. But then I think it's Taeyeon who actually catches clear here with the root under turret. It's a knock up there as well from Lehen's.
Oh, and it was Chains of Corruption stolen by Vikler as well. That's what held them all in position for so long after the cannon ulti.
But then here, Scout avoids this Q. Diablo takes an extra turret shot, but then, I mean, what is he going to do? He doesn't have ult, he doesn't have flash. Raptor ults him, they take the turret out, and then Lehen's and crew are like, we have to stop them. And they unfortunately are unable to do so. The stun comes through from the Pantheon. Lehen's super low, doesn't have his ultimate, can't peel for his team anymore. In live, by the way, it's more of a disaster.
Yeah, Clear is likely to die. There he is, just sort of sliced up. Pop Blossom is going to connect onto a few, but Raptor's also dead. Vikler now has the ulti from Lehen's and will be able to kill the cow with it. Now Sponge could be in trouble, but they still have a turret that's on its last legs here in this bottom lane. That's going to deter B&K from going for anything else.
This game is getting weird.
Very weird. As Diablo and Taeyeon, this could be a battle for the ages, but just going to walk away.
I mean, it looks like Kingen might get the whole turret here. There's just no one to answer his push right now. He got the kill onto Clear. Raptor was bottom side. And
Kingslayer to close the gap here onto Scout. Finds the chains here as the Orianna's in trouble. Vikler doesn't have the ulti, but he's kind of feeling okay about it as Kellen's moving in. Does not manage to get that snare, but there is the shockwave to lock it down still. Sponge able to answer one back. Diablo moving down here towards his bottom side as the Warrior Trickster will get Sponge out of there. A 1-for-1, but the turret not long for the world, so a bit of extra money into B&K's pockets.
Kingen did not get the full turret on the top side, got it down to 1 plate. Still was able to pick up a significant amount of money. It just doesn't feel like it's equivalent still. As we'll watch how this broke out. He just gets the stun as ult is ticking. And the stun is not enough here for Clear. Just gets Renektoned.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any friends, doesn't have enough damage to use that stun to kite him out and take him out. Then here, aggressively pushing towards the bottom side of the map is Raptor, right? Which is why they were able to make that play on the top side at the same time. Lehen's is Alistar, so can buy a bunch of space here, but there's just too much B&K. And Vikler has just been getting so much value out of his stolen ultimates. I mean, he's untouchable in this fight. No one can shut him down.
Yeah. And let's see whether he can find yet another one. May not be able to get another Unbreakable Will, but we'll just have to see as the Cloud Drake does go over to Nongshim. It's going to be one apiece. Chemtech Soul in this game. Does feel fantastic if you're a Silas, to be fair, but also for Renekton, feels pretty good.
All right,
So
well,
both teams probably feeling pretty good about where the Soul is at, but right now, I don't think that's really at the forefront of their minds. B&K looking to try and continue pushing this advantage that they've managed to accrue for themselves.
we kind of got to this game state now where, like, yes, B&K have a pretty huge lead. It's 2,000 gold for them. As Ezreal is looking phenomenal, the Silas is quite large. Pantheon has been running the jungle. But there was a few like weird exchanges that happened where Nongshim are still kind of in touching distance and some of their spikes are starting to get hit. And the Orianna is eventually going to finish that Rod of Ages. Once she hits 2 items, a bigger threat. So B&K need to be measured with their aggression, but can continue the aggression.
Yeah, this is not looking too measured as the Cyclone does come through. Shockwave there as well. Decent combo as a Pop Blossom. He's going to get headbutted away. Now Kingen looking to get into that backline as this Raptor that's his first target, and down will go the Pantheon. Taeyeon trying to make his way in as Diablo's just going to say no to that. Finds the Mystic shots, and meanwhile on this top side, it's Vikler that's popping off. Can the Arcane Shift come back off cooldown? That's the question, as Taeyeon will be able to stop Diablo from pushing forward. Scout on his last legs, but Kingen looking so strong in this game. and will be able to stop them from moving forward. So it's actually a 1 exchange here for Nongshim.
Yeah, they end up winning out. Taeyeon was unable to join the fight, and yet still, like the beginning of that fight was, okay, it didn't look measured, but it was fairly measured. However, oh, that was really scary if that timing is different.
You can see Scout's like, no, I'm gonna cancel this one.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case, smart move. But the aggression stopped being measured, right? Like the initial part of this makes a ton of sense. Like you have the numbers advantage, right? You're gonna get this turret, it's all fine. But Sponge has this really cool combo. The Orianna doesn't do that much damage yet, but from here you can just go, all right, well, we got the turret, it's fine. Instead, we just completely hard push, and then Diablo sees that there's a Varus in there, and he's like, I'm not even going to go with my team. I'm going to chase Taeyeon out. I think if he just goes up here, they do a lot more.
By the way, Taeyeon,
he got him this time.
He definitely did. Context. We don't need context. He got poked out, and then was in the wrong position as Nongshim now all grouped. As BNK are going to try and siege this inner turret in the mid lane. You got a cannon towards the bottom side as well. Clear sort of free pushing right now as well with teleport in hand if he would like to use it. And BNK, while they keep them busy, this cannon is just going to have free reign, and that is exactly what we can see here. Already taken a plate or two. Might be able to get another one. As you can see, 3 grubs here on BNK at the same time, helping out with that split push.
Yeah, I mean, this is... For Nongshim now, there's just no real estate that belongs to them outside.
Do you want to know the cup half full though, Wolf?
Sure.
It's been about a 3K gold lead like this whole game.
It's like, it went up like a little bit. It was 2K for a while.
That's true. But it hasn't gone up noticeably largely.
I think that more than gold right now is the fact that Nongshim just don't have any vision. They have no part of the map, as I was getting into, that belongs to them. Like, they don't have control over Baron. They don't have control over River. It's not like they have a strong side of the map they can play through here. As Taeyeon, I guess he was like, I got Edge tonight, I'm fine. In fact, not fine. As this was right after they had a big win on the top side. Sniped.
Nicely done there by Raptor. He's a very, very large Pantheon as well, 5, 2, and 4.
Notice
champion
that Nongshim are just kind of huddled around the Wukong right now, like maybe they'll overextend, because it's already happened once, perhaps a second time they'll do this. This is a very late rod, completes for Scout, does have level 15 now, is Seraph's.
Yep. Vikla also now has his arm guard complete, so a very, very dangerous Sylas in these fights.
I mean, if we get to a really, really late game scenario, you know, Scout will actually do huge damage, but it's just surviving until that point. That's where the Baron comes in, because more than Chemtech Soul, which is pretty good for Sylas, but we're still so far away from it because it's such a late 3rd dragon.
I mean, it's good for Orianna too, right? You got the shields.
Sure. It's just not that that's the main point that teams are going to decide this game over. I think the Baron and how BNK decide to start it and turn off of it or rush it, that's going to be the big sticking point here, because if they bomb a Baron setup, then Nongshim can get right back into the game. It's a massive lead, and they look like right now they have no intention of trying to do a Baron throw. They're just going to play through their prio and map control instead and try to set traps and try to set the idea of a Baron take is what's going to eventually pull Nongshim into them and they can win the fight. Because defensively, that Wukong ultimate is a big problem. The Orianna, great in choke points defensively, but trying to walk over and use them against a Baron setup for BNK is going to be a little bit more challenging. And they have so much vision, as you can see, to the right of the Baron pit, all over the map. And they've even got this control ward here in the mid lane.
Yeah, the Dragon has just spawned, but it looks like BNK, they have Baron on the mind. Look at the amount of vision. Like, it's kind of insane,
yeah, like,
the amount of vision control that they have.
BNK are just like, well, you guys backed, so... Yeah, good luck trying to come over here and stop this.
Well, Sponge and Lehens are in position. They get a control ward over. Let's see whether Sponge can actually get into the pit as Vikla finds the unbreakable will. Sponge does have the Cyclone. Pop Blossom comes on through, but it is a very dead Kellen to start this one off. Raptor locks down the Baron, but can they keep themselves alive? It's clear with the Slicing Maelstrom, they're able to take down the Varus as Vikla gets into that backline. Can anyone do damage to this Sylas? What the hell are you doing, Vikla? This is ridiculous. Tanks up the Shockwave and gets the chains to get himself out. A Vikla POM in my 2026, Wolf.
I mean, I've already got it locked in because this guy also saved the game so many times on Ahri. Yes, Diablo is popping off, and yes, he got 13 kills on Yunara in game 1, is having an incredible Ezreal game. But for me, this game has been all Vikla all the time. And the second game, where he just runs at Taeyeon amongst 3 people and just murders them all and then walks out casually, is, yeah, I think it's enough for me to say, yeah, we knew this guy was good at Sylas, is one of the picks he prefers. As we've kind of said, this guy is almost like Zeka Light for so long. But when you watch his Ahri, the mastery of this Sylas here as he goes in 1v3, kills Taeyoon with a flash on top of him.
Oh my god.
As Clear peels King and away, Pantheon ult to follow up. He knows he can go this deep. He knows his team's there for him for backup. They already got the Baron. And this is the game-ending play.
And he still had his arm guard.
Yeah, he's why would he ever try to be safe?
대강 지렸다 그냥.
Yeah, Kellen having a pretty good time as he kind of died at the very beginning of the fight without doing too much. But the rest of his team, my goodness, what a performance. 6-1-2. And does have 10 stacks on that Dark Seal as well. Would like to see the Forbidden Book purchased.
Kellen, you know, he won the laning phase with Nico. And otherwise, he's been on the bus this game. And
yeah.
I think based on some of his gestures we've seen on the player cam, he's aware of it. But look, the bus is going to the right destination. It's going to a 1-0 start here at LCK Cup.
Precisely.
And he is very happy about it.
If you're on the bus, you still, you still get your name on the Summoners Cup, and that's going to be enough. We'll see whether BNK can actually win Worlds, but I think that maybe it's too early to tell. As in goes Lehens, finds the Pulverize. Chains of Corruption does go wide though, and now Kellen off the bus and straight into that backline to look for the Pop Blossom, and they'll wipe out two of them before this fight has even really started. Kingen gets melted as Vikla doesn't get the chains, as there is a Grand Starfall as Raptor flashes forward. Scout not long for the world, and Taeyoon this time around is going to be saved till last by BNK as the chains connect, and the cleanse ain't enough for him. A double kill for Vikla, and they will now put an end to this game.
Yeah, Vikla was like, guys, keep up. Raptor, why haven't you ulted yet? Get in the space. Go in between the turrets. I am going to maul them. And down they fall. Nongshim looking out of sorts in this one. And BNK
looking amazing.
The dive, the setups, the coordination, unreal. The drafting as well. Pretty unique here as one last ceremony for Vikla, as I think he, even though Diablo had it, he was a little shy to talk to the bus driver.
This is my stop, but I couldn't press the button. This time he did get off the bus though. Found a really good angle, as you can see here. Gets a couple with that Pop Blossom.
Kingen is trying to play the game.
Yeah.
Look at him, he's like, trying to play the game. And Vikkla's like, get in here, Raptor. What are you doing back there? You can't hit them from there.
Diablo, get in the picture. Yeah, they're still a long way away, as we can see. Yeah, a few nights.
Vikkla's like, oh, the turret's still up, okay.
Feels like another day in the office, though, for BNK. Judging by these voice comms.
I think there's a lot of really strong comps that this team could put together with their playstyle, and I do think that we are going to see great things from this team. I am really looking forward to seeing what else they've got in store for us.
Me too. I think I may have done back-to-back BNK predictions this week, and I'm feeling really good if I did indeed predict them in their next matchup as well.
I predicted Nongshim here after a lot of debate, because I was like, I'm not ready to trust Vikla. We don't have any tape on him for a while. Guess what? We got it. I was wrong. He picks up POM. It might be unanimous. We don't know. Probably not, because Diablo had a really good series as well. But
that Silas game, man. Like, I know recency bias.